I need to say something to you before we go any further, and I need you to actually hear it. I know what it feels like to look at your bank account and not be able to breathe. I know what it feels like to see nothing but red, to get the notifications, the emails, the phone calls saying insufficient funds, payment declined, your account is overdrawn, and just go numb because you've heard it so many times it almost doesn't hurt anymore. Almost. I know what it feels like to watch your credit score go lower and lower and lower until a 520 becomes your new normal and you stop checking because what's the point? I know what it feels like to calculate your groceries in your head while you're standing in the aisle, putting things back, doing the math, wondering if it's even worth going to the checkout line. I know what it feels like to walk on eggshells at home, to put on a happy face and say, everything's fine, when inside you feel like the walls are closing in, like you're clawing your way out of something that you can't even name. I know what it feels like to go to sleep worrying and then to wake up worrying and just keep going because you don't really have a choice, because people are counting on you, because you're strong, because you've always been able to figure it out. And I know what it feels like to look at yourself in the mirror and say, I'm smart, I work hard, I have so much to offer. So why is nothing working? And I know something else too. I know what it feels like to have a vision so big and so real inside of you that you can't let go of, no matter what, no matter how many times it hasn't worked out yet, no matter how many businesses you've started, the service business, the product, the network marketing, the affiliate marketing, the coaching, the speaking, the e-commerce. You keep coming back because you know that there is something in you that is meant for more than just a paycheck that someone else signs. And I know what it feels like when the people closest to you look at you and say, when are you going to get a real job? You need to grow up. Stop dreaming and get back to reality. And I know the particular kind of suffocation that comes when you even try to imagine doing that. Working for someone else, stocking shelves, sitting at a desk that isn't yours, clocking in and clocking out and slowly dying inside. Some people would say that's dramatic, but you know that it isn't. You know that going and getting a job, as hard as that sounds to explain to someone who doesn't feel what you feel, is actually harder than staying broke and stressed and grinding, because at least when you're grinding, you're still you. You're still in the fight. You're still moving towards something. And yet the people that you love are watching you struggle, and they don't understand why you won't just take the easy road. And maybe you've even tried. Maybe you got the job and it lasted 3 months or 6, and every single day felt like you were wearing a costume that didn't fit, like someone had turned down the volume on your whole life. So now you're stuck in this impossible tension between a calling that you can't ignore and results that haven't come yet, between the version of you that knows and the circumstances that say otherwise. And here's the other thing that nobody talks about. Maybe you are getting some results. Maybe people are saying yes. But somewhere underneath it, you're quietly terrified of that too. Because if they say yes, you have to deliver. And you're already exhausted. And you don't know how to keep giving what you've been giving and still have anything left. So part of you is sabotaging it. Not on purpose, but because your body knows what your mind won't say out loud. I need a different way. I need something that doesn't require me to pour out everything I have every single time. You need something that works even when you can't. Here's what I want you to know. It is not because you are lazy. It is not because you don't have enough faith. It is not because you aren't talented enough or disciplined enough or ready enough. It's because you haven't had the right vehicle. You have been pouring everything you have into strategies that were never designed to create the kind of freedom that you're actually after. And no matter how hard you push, you keep ending up in the same place. That is not a you problem. That is a system problem. And I know this because I've lived it for almost 20 years. I'm Aly Porter, and I am a wife, I'm a mom, I have 4 kids, a husband, and a husky. I'm also a freedom connector and a PR and media strategist and the founder of Millionaire Momentum. And I didn't build this from a place of success. I built it from the exact place that you are sitting right now. I had a VA agency with over 30 contractors. I had an e-commerce business. I worked with $1 million clients. I had a coaching business and affiliate programs and memberships and everything in between. I had all the pieces, and I still couldn't figure out why the freedom I was working towards kept slipping through my fingers over and over and over again, until I stopped adding more and started going deeper, until I found a system that doesn't just teach you digital marketing, it gives you a digital income asset, something that pays you over and over and over again, like real estate for your business. An asset that you own, that works while you sleep, that grows while you live your life. And then I stacked it with something I already knew, PR and media, so that the people I work with don't just get cash flow. They get visibility, they get credibility, they get seen. Now, that's what I decided to do. Because what good is an income if nobody knows you exist, right? And I want to teach you the same thing that you can do with your business. I want you to be able to say yes when your kid asks to go to camp, without having to do the math first. I want you to take a vacation, not because you saved up for it, but because you can. I want you to slip a check in your neighbor's mailbox because you just know that they need it more than you do right now. I want you to give to your church and your favorite cause and the people that you love, not out of sacrifice, but out of overflow. I want you to stop walking on eggshells and stop calculating groceries. Stop going to sleep with that weight on your chest. Not because life gets perfect, because it doesn't, but because you finally have something underneath you that holds. So I created something for you. It's called the Stack and Scale Masterclass. And I want to show you, using my own offer as the example, exactly how to do what I did. Because here's what I know about you. You already have something, a coaching business, a speaking platform, a service, a product, a skill, something that you've been building and pouring yourself into. And I'm not here to take that away from you or tell you to start over. I'm here to show you how to stack it, how to take what you already have and layer in a digital income asset on top of it, something that works for you over and over and over again, even when you're not in the room, even when you are at your kid's game, even when you're finally taking that vacation, even when you need to rest. And the best part, you didn't even create it. And not only that, I'm going to show you how to build an offer so irresistible, so full of value, that the people that you're meant to serve can't say no. Not because you pressured them, but because they finally see what you've been trying to show them all along. You stop being just another option, and you become the obvious answer. But I also need to say this because this is really important. Maybe you're listening to all of this and you're thinking, Aly, I don't have an offer. I haven't started yet. I don't know what my business is. This is still for you. Or maybe you're on the complete opposite end and you've been in business for years and you're done, you are burnt out, you are tired, and the last thing you want to do is think about stacking anything onto what you're already carrying. You just want to let it go. This is still for you because this digital income asset, it doesn't require you to have something already built. It doesn't require you to show up and deliver and pour yourself out every single time someone says yes. It can stand completely on its own. It can work while you figure out your next chapter, while you rest, while you heal from the burnout, while you're living your life and being present with your family and finally breathing again. You don't have to have it all figured out. You just have to be willing to say that I want something different than what I've had. That's it. That's the only requirement. That's what stack and scale is. That's what's waiting for you on the other side. And I want to remind you that this is not about doing more. This is about finally letting what you already have work the way it's always supposed to. You don't need another strategy that trains you. You need an asset that sustains you. You need someone who has been exactly where you are and found the way through. That's why I'm here. If something in you is saying yes right now, don't talk yourself out of it. This is not impulse. It's recognition. I want you to put your name in your email below. I want you to come inside and I want you to see what is possible, because you've waited long enough and you are so much closer than you think.